Hey guys, this is Adam with See You Later Leaner, and I am here with the owner of Angel Competitions Bikini, Karah. Thank you for joining me today. And we are here to talk about the fit model suits.
Yes, I am so excited and honored to be sitting here talking to you. It was exciting to be there at the first Fit Model show with you a few weeks ago.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about, all the work that's gotten into doing this. This is literally changing at the moment. They allowed metallics a few weeks ago. There's been a lot of changes. I'm sure you've been busy as heck, not only designing, changing suit criteria and doing all of those things in the past. I feel like the announcement was only made maybe like 6 or 7 weeks ago, and you guys have had to have been busy.
Yeah, so the announcement was only made, what, I think it was 7 weeks ago. And since then, we've been having a lot of phone calls with the head office, trying to figure this cut out, trying to get the exact amount of coverage all of the athletes want. What we're struggling right now is they are requiring that 50% coverage, and that's a lot of coverage, and our customers don't want that. So we're trying to, you know, make a cut that is 50% coverage that the customers love. It is a struggle, but our last iteration that we just made on Friday got a lot of great feedback. So we're very hopeful that we have the cut down, but at the same time, I know that it's going to evolve. Every other month, I foresee us slightly tweaking the pattern just based on what the judges are allowing and what the customers are wanting.
Absolutely. A couple questions for you as a, bikini making company owner. Would you recommend getting a couple different suits, a couple different coverages? The fit model suits are not that expensive. Tell us about your pricing and kind of what your recommendation if people are like competing in the next 3 weeks, versus maybe they want to compete in the fall. Would you say for the fall people to maybe wait on ordering, or what's your feedback on that?
Yeah, those are all great questions. So to start off with price, our fit model suits start at $125, but they can go up, if you want any upgrades. So for example, Emily last 2 weeks ago wore the molded cup. The molded cup is an upcharge. So it starts at 125 and we try to keep it as reasonable as possible. Just know that these are all handmade in Kansas City. So, a lot of what you're paying for is the labor of these women, amazing seamstresses that work for us to make these suits. So yes, they start at 125. They can come on any fabric except for velvet. You can do the hologram or the matte. And then what was the next question?
Basically, if they should wait to order, if
Oh,
they're maybe
yes.
doing a fall show.
Yeah, so I would say yes, wait to order if you're doing a fall show, unless you want to go ahead and order one to use as a posing suit, practice posing suit, because it's kind of thinking, oh, well, the suit itself is a posing suit, but we do also recommend having a posing suit just because you're going to be putting that on, daily, taking it to the gym. These suits are very durable, so I'm not saying they would break by any means, but it's nice to have your show day suit kind of pristine. You just throw it on peak week, you throw it on for a fitting to make sure everything fits, and then have that practice suit. So if you want to go ahead and order your practice suit, I would advise to do that. But yes, if your show is in November or October, anytime in the fall, we have seen some quick changes and evolution with this division. For example, 2 days after they announced it, then they allowed a scrunch. So, just expect. I've been really encouraging people to stay very open-minded in this. We're doing the best we can. We're working hours upon hours trying to get this fit right. And, just stay open-minded because this division is going to really, really evolve.
hmm I think that we're going to see a lot of changes very quickly in it. And your feedback's a lot like mine. I've been telling my clients, order your practice suit. Feel free to make that one a little bit bigger, just in case as like a backup. Order it in a color you like, maybe even order it the same as what you think your regular suit is going to be. And then feel free to maybe go a little bit smaller in the coverage on the back on the other. But as long as you truly think it's 50%, and that's what I've been telling my girls is, don't try to cinch it down to 40% or anything like that. But that's one of the benefits is you can have, two fit model suits relatively obtainably easily with this. Tell us a little bit about your feedback from going to the show, seeing all of the suits on stage. There were a lot of metallics worn, and that was something that was allowed a little bit later as well. Did you have a preference between, the muted colors or the metallic colors on stage while you were there?
That's a good question. And my feedback from watching the first show live was, and let me first say that I really trust the NPC. They've been a business for years, probably, I mean, way longer than I've even been alive. So I really trust their judgment and they know what's best for the division and the organization. But I was a little disappointed because, what kind of drew me into competing was, versus other types of fitness competitions, CrossFit or powerlifting, marathon running, you know, I mean, I love to lift heavy weights, but it was getting on stage in that crystallized suit, just really glammed up, with all the jewelry and everything. And to me, not even allowing crystal connectors, it didn't really seem prestige. Getting on a bodybuilding stage in itself is very prestige, especially the NPC. They're the best of the best league. And so you have these girls getting on stage in what looks like, well, they say in the rules, an off the rack swimsuit. You know, if you are in any type of like, let's compare it to gymnastics. When you go to a meet, even if it's your first meet, you don't want to wear just an off the rack leotard. You want to go all out and get like the Simone Biles crystals. So for me, it was a little bit of a disappointment because there wasn't, I guess, as much glam as, or it didn't have that level of, I don't want to use the word professionalism, but I don't know. So I was a little disappointed in how the suits looked on stage just because they didn't have the crystals. And I did like the way the hologram material looked better. But the matte as well, the overall winner, she was wearing matte, uh, now I'm blanking, mulberry, matte mulberry,
Yes.
and it really looked great on her.
Yeah, I think that I liked both. I think people who maybe want the jeweled look, the metallics are going to be up their alley because it really does pop. Like maybe not as much as a crystallized bikini, but it does have a little bit more pop to it. And I could definitely see that from your perspective as a designer. You're an artist at the end of the day, so it has to be really important for you to see the jewelry and stuff like that. And that is something that a lot of women have came to me about. I really want the bling. And one thing that I wonder is maybe later on in 2026, when we see the pro shows, maybe that will be something that they allow. Because, like, even in fitness, they will sometimes do different outfits and stuff like that in the pro league. So it might be something that maybe once the pro league criteria for fit model evolves, maybe they will allow crystals. It would make more sense since and I don't want to speak for anybody, but once you're a pro, you're really going to invest in your suits and stuff like
Mhm.
that. So I could see where they would maybe they would allow it. But again, I don't want to speak for anybody, but it would be cool if they did, because at the pro level, why not?
Yeah. And one thing that's hard from a design standpoint is these fabrics come in like shades of blue, might come in 5 different shades of blue, but with the crystals and doing different crystals, we can make 1,000 different shades of blue. So it's hard to get the athletes, the exact color that they're wanting when there's no crystals on it. But we are talking about reaching out to a fabric supplier and maybe getting some more like variations of different shades on the colors because they can't do the crystals. But again, we're just waiting to see division evolve. The NPC has always been the league for the athletes, and they have done a good job listening to what the athletes are wanting and making changes based on that. So I'm also encouraging people, if you have strong opinions about this, because we see all the strong opinions out there. I'm
Hmm.
sure you see all these comments and they're very opinionated. You're not telling the right people, okay? If you comment on someone's Instagram, that's not going to do anything. I advise you keep your mouth shut on Instagram on the comments. Send a message to the people that will read it, the people that can make the changes. Send it to the NPC News Online, Instagram. Voice your opinions, but voice them to people in a nice way that will actually matter.
Absolutely. As a designer, I'm getting this question a lot, and I'm interested in just confirming. As far as I know, as of February 2nd, no velvets are allowed, correct?
Correct.
Okay, I wanted to make sure because it seems so, you know, it seems like you would be able to. It almost seems like it would be a perfect fabric for this division. I'm getting a ton of women asking me, and I literally put the date when I answer them, like as of this date, no velvet is allowed. But literally last night, I had four people ask me, and it made me second guess. I'm like, did they make an announcement that I missed? And I checked, like my emails and NPC News, I didn't see anything. So I wanted to ask you just in case I had missed something. But as of right now, no velvets. I know everyone really likes that fabric a lot. But yeah, you guys stick to the metallics and more the muted colors as of right now.
Yeah, so our matte fabrics are actually the reverse side of our hologram metallic fabric. We do that because the hologram fabric has this coating on top of it that makes it a little bit stiffer and it's just a nicer feeling fabric. So when we use the reverse of it, it's just holds up and it's a little bit stiffer, it's a little bit nicer. So yeah, our all any color you see in hologram can be made into a matte because it's just the reverse side.
Awesome. Tell me about your molded cup. And one thing I want to talk about on the molded cups, when Emily got her suits from you guys, I was blown away with that top fit. There was no going back with that. One, I are a lot of girls leaning towards the molded? What would be a reason someone might go with molded versus non-molded? Can you give us some guidance there?
Yeah, that's a great question. Molded cups are great for people that do not have a lot of chest muscle or that whenever they do their posing and they flex in different positions, because even in the bikini division, you're kind of flexing different muscles as you move. If your implants or your just natural chest doesn't have a lot of movement when you're doing your posing, then the molded cups can work great for you. It's especially great for people with implants that have them sort of more wide set. A lot of where the implants stay on your body is based on anatomy. So some girls' anatomy, they have a wider, I'm blanking, but this bone sternum. They have
Sternum.
a wider
Yes.
sternum, and so their implants sit farther apart. And the molded cups can be wonderful for those girls because it gives you that slight amount of cleavage that you're wanting with your implants. And I will say it looked beautiful on Emily.
Yeah, it was such a win, and the hologram that you guys did in hers was excellent. Like it just really looked different, and we're excited to see her new bottoms come in because I know that you guys I think shipped them out this week, so we're
Yeah.
excited to practice in them. And she competes in basically a week and a half now here at the Legends in Las
Mhm.
Vegas, and then we head off to Japan because we're going for the pro card in Japan. We really want to be the first fit model pro.
Yeah, I mean, Emily had that package. Like she looked incredible. And I did talk to her backstage and she did make a comment that she loved the bottoms. She did not want any more coverage. So Emily, I'm sorry. We are just following the rules. We don't make them. So your new bottoms will have more coverage. We're trying to, it's a hard balance of giving the athletes what they want and giving the league, that 50% coverage. So her new bottoms are more conservative, but it is what the league is saying as of, I'm going to do your thing, Adam, as of February 3rd. Because
Yes, yes.
it's crazy how quick things are evolving. And I think we all need to give people a little grace. I guess maybe this is the Midwestern girl in me, but I'm getting like hate messages if I say like, oh, like show a suit with a scrunch. And people are like, no, a scrunch is not allowed. Didn't you read the rules? And I'm just like, okay, it's okay. Scrunch was allowed 2 days later. We aren't
Yeah.
lying to you. Like, it's almost like people, I don't know, but we all need to give everyone just a little bit of grace, be nice. That's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, we're all learning this together right now, which actually I think is a great time for everyone to come together and, have fun with this. And
Yeah, let's
that's
celebrate the
so
new
awesome.
division.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, one thing, doing a podcast with you, I cannot not mention how many shows you guys are at and how active you guys are in what you do. So tell us about all the shows that you go to. Well, maybe not all of them, but also one huge standout for you is Emily needs some backstage assistance. You literally came backstage and were able to cut some strings for us. That's an amazing thing to be able to have. And, I know you guys can't go to every show, but you guys are at a lot of shows. Another thing that has always stood out to me with you guys is the angel community is something that I probably didn't even know existed because I've been so instilled on making See You Later Leaner a very inclusive community that I've maybe not caught eye of what you did. But now my wife being an angel athlete as well, and going on the cruise and being a part of the fashion show, you guys have such a great thing going on. Tell us a little bit more about your company beyond fit model suits.
Yeah, thanks for asking. So, part of the community that we've built in Angel, I give all the credit to the other girls in this community because they're what make it, very active and engaging, uplifting, inspiring, empowering, all the things you want in female friends. And so I know from firsthand experience when I started competing myself in 2013, I did not have any friends in the industry. And it was very lonely for me. So it's almost like I we took that feeling like what are we missing? What do we want? We want this community and we built it. And the way it didn't all the way flourish until we started doing these fashion shows because that was a time where girls could get together in a non-competitive environment and bond and have fun, get on stage together, really share stories, that camaraderie. And, girls that come in and do the fashion show, they remain friends for life. And then, so you have these different fashion shows. Then when you see girls at the show, it's just this amazing community. We all have our matching purple jackets and it's what I wanted back when I first started competing because I do think it's a very vulnerable state for a first-time competitor because there's a lot of things that you can't learn from reading or you can't learn from your coach. You have to learn it by going through it, especially the post show. There's no way you can read a book and learn like what's going to happen. So, that we're trying to fill the void in that loneliness of athletes in the angel community. And we're so happy to have you and Sarah a part of it. I had so much fun with Sarah on the cruise.
That's awesome. Yeah, she really had a blast. I know from a coaching perspective, if any coaches have wives out there who compete or maybe haven't competed, one of the funnest things was going to Nashville with Sarah and see her get her nails done and do all
Mhm.
this stuff without the pressure of a competition at the end of the day. And I thought that was so cool because we really enjoyed that trip and it gives people who maybe aren't ready to get on stage yet as well a way to be on stage, be proud, and have a goal to work for. Because at the end of the day, it is kind of competitive bodybuilding, but you guys have really opened a door to allow people to experience what bodybuilding's like without the pressure of a competition. And I think that's so cool.
Yeah, we really like that it can be almost a gateway into your first competition, especially, some of these shows that we've done that have been hosted at NPC competitions, those girls that have never competed before, but they're interested, it gets them in the door and they get to see, what it's like, and then they go on to compete. So I really, it's cool that we're making an impact on the industry, getting more girls in. We can only nurture our customers and the current bodybuilding community so much. And the fashion show gives us that platform to get those girls that would never, have the courage to compete, or the girls that think they wouldn't like it. They come to the show, they do a fashion show, they see the show, the competition portion of it, and then they're competitors for life. It's really cool because I love this sport and it's made me who I am, and I think it's just a great sport for like this. There's so many great qualities you get from being a bodybuilder, whether you compete or not. So I'm just very pro, getting more people involved, learning about the sport.
Absolutely. And then tell me the best way to get in contact with you guys if people want to order or maybe get some design consultation from you guys for a fit model or any division that they want to do for that matter.
Yeah, you can follow us on Instagram. We're at Angel Competition Bikinis. We're very, very active on there. And then also, if you go to our website, that's acbikinis.com, you can schedule a free consultation. You can get free fabric samples, and there's a lot of resources there for whatever you're looking for. And when I say free, I mean completely free. We do not ask for your credit card information or anything in our consultation. No pressure to buy, just a conversation about what you're looking for your suit, especially for you fit model girls that are looking for that 50% coverage. I highly recommend scheduling your consultation because, one thing we didn't really touch on was, if you have a girl with 40-inch glutes versus a girl with 35-inch glutes, 50% coverage is going to be different, whatever the fabric is. And if you mess up on your measurements and you say your glutes are 30 inches when they're actually 40, you're not going to have a 50% coverage suit. So it is important that you are measuring correct, and we can walk you through that. And also, if you order our fabric samples before you do your consultation, it comes with a tape measure. So if you don't know how to use the tape measure, we will show you on via Zoom.
Awesome. That is super helpful. So, well, first of all, thank you for everything you've done for my wife, me, my athletes. I really appreciate you guys. And if anyone else has any questions, we'll put some links to get in touch with you guys. And thanks for joining with me today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun. We should do it again.
Yes, absolutely.